Hello, farmers, and welcome to another episode of the harvest season. My name is Cody.
My name is Kevin, and we are back in the saddle again.
Welcome
Oh,
to a new year. This is
oh
act
yeah,
this is
first one.
actually being recorded in the new year.
Yeah, unlike the last one, which was recorded before a lot of the ones before that, which
Yeah.
is wild. Oh,
I just finished.
Wildflowers got a sequel, prequel, and I just couldn't say it.
Yeah, so I guess so. Okay, so this episode is about a news catch up, but
Yep.
we do want to hear Kev. I want to hear, so there's a couple things that we have to talk about. First,
I saw the
put
notes.
I'll put any feedback on Game of the Year. So do you have any feedback on Rusty's retirement winning Game of the Year?
Oh, so like. I'll tell you what, my feedback is that this is just the revenge of the Coral Island debacle of the previous year. That's what this is. Um,
No. Who would you have? Well, you would have had Wildflowers
me.
win, right?
Yeah, I mean, well, okay, some deep inside baseball, right? Like we've been talking a little bit on how to structure this game of the year because it's challenging, right? With so many games that come out, right?
Mhm.
And we cover, at most 52 games in a year. And obviously we're not going to bring 52 games in a
Right.
year. And furthermore, they're probably not all going to be games that came out that year.
Yeah.
Um, so that is a lot of games that we don't play and consider, and me missing things, right? So, like Wildflowers, we missed it the year it came out, so I didn't, put it in. It wasn't in the running for Game of the Year. So like what I think that we should maybe try to aim for next year is like well, we've already we already started doing the categories or whatever kind of. So I think there should be like one for actually 2020 whatever, 4 or 5 whatever, and then one that we covered on the show that year. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
That's probably how we should structure that. But either way, I mean, yeah, either way, my Wildflowers is not going to be my vote because like we didn't even cover it last year or whatever. I would have
Okay.
gone with Mika, of course.
I was gonna say maybe
Which,
Mika.
but I get it. I will say like I haven't played Rusty's Retirement myself. Like I said, I don't like the concept on of the playing on your screen as you're doing other stuff. Like it's just I'm the total opposite end of the spectrum from that. It doesn't gel with me at all.
Hmm.
But I'm sure it's fine. Like what I've what everyone talked about, it's great and what right. And furthermore, like I think it was Mike who brought it up, like that. It's breaking more new ground than say Mika, because
Hmm.
Mika, there's no doubt that Mika is definitely standing on the shoulders of giants, leaning on Wind Waker aesthetic and the Studio Ghibli and all that. So I can appreciate that. So Mika would have been my vote, but I'm fine with the rest of the time. I'm not complaining. I
Hmm.
do like the robot. Um, but yeah.
Okay.
Um, yeah,
Yeah.
that's my only real thought. Like yeah, it's fine. Not my vote, but again for twofold reasons, and I
Hmm.
get why you guys picked it, so I'm not complaining too much.
Yeah. Those of us with ADHD, it just tickles that itch for sure. Okay, so the second question would be Wild Society. What are your thoughts?
Mm. So, obviously I'm hyped, right? Because Studio Dry Dock has done fantastic work, kind of across the board, right? Not just except maybe again the art style, which it's I'm not gonna defend it per se, but the story they wrote, the mechanics, how they came about it, even their promotion, how they interact with the community, just solid stuff across the board, right? Um, obviously I'm biased. I'm the one who dove into Wildflowers because of Ray and yada yada, but and Baller's a lot of fun and whatnot. But like the fact that we're getting a sequel, one, that's great, right? Or
Hmm.
prequel, I guess. Um, and what's exciting is that it's not going to probably be a one-to-one sequel. We're not on a farm now. We're running a hotel bed and breakfast
Hmm.
thing, I remember. So, I'm interested to see what we're gonna do. I'll probably put they had a lot of emphasis on the social interactions and whatnot, but you know, that was I think one of the strong suits from Wildflowers, like the community of that little island and people interacting and whatnot. So, focusing more on that, I think is gonna be fun. Um, I do wonder how the magic will fit into everything because you use the magic for farming, but here we're just hosting tea parties? Question mark. So what are we? Yeah, you
Yeah.
know what? Spiking drinks with potions was a feature in Wildflowers. So,
Didn't she have a seance in
uh,
the trailer for Wild Society?
oh yeah, you're right. There was like a seance thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
that right. There you go. That'll be interesting. Um, but yeah, I mean, yeah, of course, I'm super excited for it. I believe they already confirmed there will be returning characters, which is interesting because they think it's going to be a fairly large time gap, but there are characters who could show up. I can already name two or three of them.
Mhm.
Um, so it'll be fun to see them show up. I'm right, like this is generally somewhat bad form, but I'm pretty sure the voice in the trailer was Valerie Rose Loman, so I'm sure she's gonna get a character in there. I feel like she has to, right? She has to. Um,
Hmm.
and so but we'll see. I don't know. Yeah, all in all, obviously, I'm very excited. It's fun. Yeah. Well, my eyes are peeled, and I'll be day one buyer, of course.
Well, and
So.
I will say that after everything that you've talked about the game and looking at Wild Society, well, maybe we'll be doing a second harvest of wildflowers this year because
Oh, oh,
I want to play it.
oh. Like,
So,
obviously my hyperbolic, cartoonish adoration of the game is great now, but like it is still a very solid game. Like I cannot
yeah,
recommend it enough. Like it is up there with you know, the top Stardew clones or farming is whatever. It's solid.
yeah,
Um, you could just get past the
yep.
style. I don't blame anyone.
Oh, it looks
But hey,
great.
that's good.
So,
That's
okay.
good. Yeah.
So, yeah, the as I've already mentioned, today the topic is news catch up, so we have a lot of news to get through. Um, but next section is the what have we been up to section, and here is the final question for Kev. Kev, you have to tell us about your puppy. Like, I don't remember you ever introducing your puppy on a
Okay.
I just remember you saying, "Oh yeah, I got a puppy." And I'm like, "I need details." And this is the first time we've been on a pod together. So,
So, yeah. It's not the last time we recorded. I don't remember where or what was the like where harvest season time wise where I was when I recorded near puppy. But okay. So, I feel like I did. So you know what? Here's showtime. If you listen to the Rainbow Road Radio, the mutual show I do with our friend Alex on
mhm.
Aria Things, that you could hear the puppy saga in real time,
Oh, okay.
because I was giving up updates. But anyways, so okay, I'm gonna give context for people who might not know. I imagine most folks might know. I think so. I brought it up here and there, but okay. So first of all, uh, 2 years ago, um, October 29th. I know the date. It's weird, but I have a reference point. But we lost our first dog passed away 2 years ago on October 29th.
Mm,
Or 2022, whatever. It's New Year, whatever.
mhm.
Um, his name was Dodo. We had him for 18 years, same age as my brother.
Hmm.
Toy poodle. Obviously left the big a hole in the family and all that. And so, but for the first while we'd been petless, right?
Mhm.
Keo about a year later, it was actually around the same time, around November of 2023. We got two kitties,
Mhm.
um, Daisy and Teddy, and they were very small kittens. They were just a couple, like 3, maybe 4 weeks old when we got them. And so that was my first time having cats, and they were fun, and all the weird and wonderful and really weird things that cats are.
Hmm.
But they're relatively chill compared to dogs, right? They're a little more low maintenance.
Hmm.
Anyway, so Q this past year on by I kid you, no one realized. Well, I was the first one to realize it on the same date, October 29th of 2024, 2 years to the day after though. I was given Lucky as an early birthday gift. Um,
Oh.
so he was a toy poodle, much like Dodo. Dodo was a blonde, light brown colored. Lucky is like red cinnamon type fur color. Um, he was 2 months old, I think, when we got him. He was still a really little guy, all in all.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, we got him. Took probably a week or two to pick the name. I settled on Lucky. That is his name. And he has been a handful. Like, so Dodo was the chillest guy ever. He was smart. He was chill. Like, he potty trained himself. It was wild.
Hmm.
Um, and whatnot. And he was just chill. He just loved hanging out and cuddling and whatever. Lucky is your stereotypical, or would you think of dog like puppy storm? Like he's chewing everything, biting everything. He's running. He's very friendly. He's very social. He loves meeting people. Sometimes
Hmm.
to our chagrin, because if he ever gets off the leash, he will run up to other people. And so um, but uh, but yeah, he's been here. We set up the Christmas decorations. He's been chewing on them, so it's been a handful. He's obviously still very puppy age and still learning, but he is a joy, a bundle of joy. He's probably double, maybe even triple, no, not triple, but at least doubled in size, I'm sure.
Hmm.
Since we got him. But he is a toy poodle, so he's still going to be a little guy, all in all. But yeah, he's part of the home now. He's obviously a lot of attention, a lot of work. Um, Now the cats are interesting. He gets along with one. Her name is Daisy. She's pretty chill with him usually, but sometimes he'll try to play with her like a dog would, right? Play fighting or
Hmm.
whatever. And so she doesn't like that, obviously. Because even though they're a year older, like Lucky's already bigger than both of them. Um, and then Teddy, oh, I feel so bad because poor Teddy, he is our sweetheart. He lives up to his name of Teddy. He's a teddy bear. He's sweet and calm and chill, but he's so skittish and nervous. Like
Hmm.
he still freaks out over Lucky. He's not used to him, not even like I'd say 50%. Like he'll hiss and and do all this stuff. He tries to keep his distance. And obviously Lucky's just a puppy. He just wants to like run up and play with him. He's never look Lucky doesn't have a mean bone in his body or anything.
Hmm.
But he's just Teddy's just not dealing well within you. So
Yeah.
yeah. Um
I'm
no,
sure they'll
that's
be best of
unfortunate.
friends because that's how it always goes, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Yeah, and I imagine it certainly takes time, right? Like obviously, like I said, never had cats before, so obviously never had cats and dogs together before.
hmm.
Um, and obviously I did some research on that, and yeah, it looks like it can vary. Like I said, Daisy and Lucky get along pretty well. But yeah, I'm sure Teddy will just kind of give it time. He's like I said, he's a very kiddish sort of fella. That's the only thing about him. Um, but yeah, but that is Lucky. Hold on. You know what? Oh, let me send you a picture. I'm talking about it, but I didn't even send you a picture. Hold
I was
on, let
gonna
me.
say, please post one in the Slack
Okay, yeah, you know
so
what? Yeah,
that,
there you go. There's your Patreon Slack exclusive.
yeah, if y'all want to see baby toy poodle pics,
Yeah,
and I am all for it.
I'll have to dig and find them. I'll try to find some earlier ones when he was real little because he was
Oh,
real like he could barely poke out of the grass standing. Little, but
oh,
he he's a good bit bigger, but he still acts very much like a baby.
yeah,
Um,
that doesn't go away for a while. Stella's
yeah.
finally, can you stop? She's also all up in my business right now.
Speaking of
Um,
which, yep, yeah.
she only just started getting out of some of her puppyish like behaviors, like
Mm-hmm.
um Aussies, both healers and shepherds, will like bite at ankles. to like try and herd you. She's finally, thankfully, stopped doing that. To me. She only ever did it to me.
Mm.
Um, which is stupid. 'Cause my partner would like be like, get mommy," and like she would come up and get my ankles, and I would be like, "Are you serious?"
Yeah.
Um,
Oh my gosh, that's the thing with
look at the little lint. Oh,
yeah,
he's
the one on the
so
left. So I posted the picture on Slack. You Slackers can look at it now, or you probably already have. But yeah, on the left side, that's close to when we got him. He's
cute.
tiny. You can see him next to the leaves, like for comparison.
Yeah.
And then to the right, that's a more recent picture. That's him with Daisy. Like I
Oh,
said, he's bigger now. But yeah, the biting's insane because honestly,
yeah.
Dolan never did the biting. But he's just nipping at everything. I have some facial hair, so it's not heavy facial hair, but he likes to nibble
Doesn't,
on it.
yeah. Yep.
He likes to just just nip at it. But that's the Lucky Saga.
Oh,
Good, good time. Obviously good times. A lot of work every day. Everyone is yelling Lucky, because he's running around causing chaos. But we still love him,
oh.
and he's a pretty good boy. Like I said, he's not aggressive or anything like that.
Hmm.
He likes to bite because he's playful or whatever. But
He's a puppy. That's just
yeah,
puppy
he's a puppy.
behavior.
Yeah.
Classic
Um.
puppy behavior.
Yeah. So that is the Lucky Saga. Well,
Yay.
all to it. As I look forward to more episodes or whatever, I'll bring up news if things happen. Um. But yeah. So there you go. There you go. Harvest season, folks. There's your catch up.
Ding
Um.
dong. What else have you been up to?
Okay. So aside from that, in more recent times, yeah, talked about it when we recorded because it just come out. Like I think when Al, I think I did the episode of Al Marvel Rivals has been one of the big
Yeah.
ones, the Overwatch clone with Marvel stuff. Um,
That was
like
really fun to listen to
yeah,
because
yeah,
you like basically mentioned it and Al was like, "Oh, thank goodness that I don't like games like this because then I don't have to play it." And then you were
yeah,
like, "Oh, no, no, like it's not what you think." He was like,
yeah.
"Oh, no, no, I have to play it."
The funny thing is, we were just talking, just shooting the breeze before we started recording that episode, and I was talking about Rivals, and he mentioned because like the camera thing was like the big thing, and he
Yeah.
mentioned that, and that's when I was like, I'm gonna button this right now so I can save this for the show to drop the reveal on it.
Oh, that's so funny.
um,
So yeah, you're
but
still enjoying it?
oh yeah, I am as best as I can. So there is a weird thing about like being multi-platform or whatever.
Hmm.
So Calvin likes it too, right? So he
Okay.
plays on our PlayStation. I play on a laptop that I have, just so we can both play it or whatever at
Yeah.
the same time. Um, and the kicker on being PC is I'm not a PC gamer, generally speaking. I can't do the mouse and keyboard and all that stuff, right?
Mm.
So I hook up a controller and I play that way, but I get bodied because there are, those insane mouse and keyboard super aiming people.
Oh yeah.
Um, and it's also like you can tell the population skews younger because, of course, it's free to play. So all the teenagers and kids, and it's Marvel, right? They're hopping on. So they get a lot more practice time than say I do. So I get bodied. I do. Obviously I'm trying my best. I try to focus or whatever, but it can be rough. It can be a bit bumpy at times, I won't lie.
Hmm.
But yeah, no, it's good stuff. And we are actually on the end of the first, they call it season 0 or whatever, the first battle pass, yada yada. So then there's new content probably in the next week or two is coming out, including the Fantastic Four. And so good, more exciting stuff to look forward to.
Hmm.
I'm always down for that. But yeah, Marvel Rivals it continues to be a joy and a curse at times, but that is it is what it is.
Are you still playing
Let's see.
Spider-Man?
Um, so I play not Spider-Man is hard. I'm not gonna lie. Spider-Man is really
Okay.
hard to play. because he plays just like the PlayStation Spider-Man games, but
Yeah.
in this context, it's really tricky. I struggle with him. And in fact, when I see Spider-Man players, I'm scared because I know they're good players. Um, but let's see. No, my go-tos, I think, after all this time, like um, gosh, did you watch Spider-Verse, the first one, Into the
Yes.
Spider-Verse? Okay, so Penny Parker, the anime one with the robot, the anime
Okay.
Spider
Yeah.
one,
Yeah.
she's in this game.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
yeah, she's a little older. She's more like I think college age. I think that's what she is, but she still has her robot. I play her. She's fun.
Okay.
She sets up like a little tower that shoots out spider robots and mines and stuff, and so you kind of set up an area where you defend. That's what she's good at. So she's my go-to tank. Um, for healer, Jeff the Land Shark. I don't know. Have you ever seen Jeff the Land Shark?
No.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so just hold on. Let
Okay,
me send you a
you're fine.
picture.
You could just say, like, I'm sure that every listener probably knows what you're talking about.
No, see,
So,
here's the thing. No, here's the thing. Jeff the Land Shark is one of the freaks, the deep cut picks that no one on Earth knows.
oh, okay.
Yeah, but Jeff the Land Shark. Okay, he's basically a puppy, but he's a shark with legs. He doesn't talk or anything, and he just swims around. And or like he can do the shark thing with the fin sticking out. He can move around. He heals people, and he shoots ice balls and all sorts of stuff. He's fairly straightforward, but it's pretty satisfying.
He's a
So he's my
puppy,
go-to healer. He acts like a puppy. He does all
but he's a
the
shark.
yes,
Okay.
he's a shark. Yeah. Um. Yeah. So he's my go-to healer. Yeah, and like I said, one of the cool things about Rival is they weren't afraid to get some really deep cuts, weirdo picks.
Mm,
Like Jeff. What is this? What did I do? All right, there we go. Okay. Sorry. So that's my go-to healer, just because he's pretty easy to use and he's
okay.
adorable.
He definitely
Um,
looks like a puppy.
he is just a puppy, but he's an old shark with legs. Like it's a weird description, but that is exactly what it is. Um, and then for my damage person, I pick Squirrel Girl. She has squirrels. She shoots acorns with a slingshot. She's
Squirrel girl.
oh, you don't know Squirrel Girl? Ah,
Dude, I
okay.
don't know
Again,
much of Marvel.
okay. No, you know
Yeah.
what? No, again, Squirrel Girl is a pretty deep cut.
Okay.
Um, so her whole power is she can communicate with squirrels. Um, like she she's athletic or whatever, but her superpower is she can communicate with squirrels, and so she will send armies of squirrels on people and so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
um she is an incredible character, something of a joke character, but also played for like straight incredible. Like in her first issue she goes up against Doctor Doom and takes him down with an army of squirrels. And just she's the best like funny character. And she dresses up kind of like a squirrel. And she has one on her shoulder at all times. Um, but yeah, her name, in fact, the moniker she's often used is the unbeatable Squirrel Girl. Again, just because
Okay,
she's
okay.
so like hyperbolic, goofy.
I mean, if a squirrel is trying to come at you, they're gonna get you. From working at the wildlife center,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
I would used to have this one squirrel that would sit on my shoulder, but if
yeah.
he decided that he wanted to run all over and like suddenly be on my back and then suddenly be on my leg, like they can do some crazy things. Oh, you sent me a
Oh yeah,
picture of her.
yep.
Okay,
Um,
okay.
yeah. So she's great. People who know her love her. She is adored. Like I said, she's obviously low tier. She doesn't get pushed like
Hmm.
some, but she's great. So yeah, that's Squirrel Girl. That's Marvel Rivals. Those are my three. That's my
Okay.
wacky crew. Let's see. Aside from Rivals, so I picked up a game uh, just a couple days ago. It's called Armored Core. Are you familiar with this?
No.
Okay. Are you familiar with From Software?
No.
Okay. The Elden Ring people.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
So
So
you like pain. You like
yes, yes, I do.
okay,
Okay.
okay.
So you're familiar with Elden Ring. Of course, everyone is, right? Because it's
Yeah.
the biggest game that year, whatever. Okay, what if I told you the Elden Ring people said, what if okay, now we want to do a game, but it's all robots and mecha.
Okay.
And that gives you Armored Core.
Okay.
Um, so it is the same level of polish, a very like grounded, uh, realistic-ish visual style and whatnot. The challenge, I don't think it is as hard as Elden Ring because Elden Ring is hard. It's
Yeah.
really hard. But Armored Core, it's a different flavor because you're controlling a robot, right? So you switch out parts, you can customize for speed or be tanky or whatnot. And that's a big part of the puzzle. Like when you're given a new boss or whatever, they'll heavily like hint use this kind of robot
Hmm.
because if you're not, you're gonna be in trouble, right? Like Pokemon type advantages, basically.
Yeah.
Um, so there's a lot of love and attention to detail. Being a robot game, you can paint your robot however you want, and I can, I'll spend a lot of time doing that. And so on and so forth. It's very fun. Like I said, I don't think anywhere near as hard as Elden Ring, but still satisfyingly challenging. It controls like how I'd want to. The robots will fly, they'll dash, you have two weapons, you can have double guns or a melee weapon and a gun and missiles, all the good stuff. It is very straightforward mecha. So if you're a fan of that, that's definitely a thumbs up. Okay. That's a lot from me. But now, Cody, tell me, what have you been up to?
I have been, um, so I've still been playing like Pocket and Go. Go I am burned by because the shiny wor party hat Wurmple was in the like New Year's challenge or whatever, and was spawning. But I clicked on like literally like 500 Wurmple and did not
Oh
get
no.
my shiny party hat Wurmple. And for people who might not have ever listened and might be like, who is this human and why does she want this? Last year, I've been wanting this Wurmple for so long and I still have it. Like I've been playing every time that there's an event where you can get this Wurmple. And last year I was so mad about it that I got it tattooed onto my body because I was like, if I cannot have a shiny party hat Wurmple in the game, I'm gonna have one as a tattoo. And I've had plenty of friends be like, "Oh, I have one. I can trade it to you." And I'm like, "No, no, 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 no. I need I'm not gonna have any traded until I've caught one on my own."
Do they not
Though I
know the story of Captain Cody and the White Wormhole?
in the Wurmple. Yeah.
Actually, I don't think
Mo
it's white; it's like purple. But anyways,
Moby
um,
Wurmple, basically.
yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, it is my white whale. Still didn't get it. I got to shiny Jigglypuff and
Hmm.
I refused to click on the Hoot Hoot. And yeah, but no Wurmple. So that game is now dead to me until the next time that there is an event that I care about.
That's cruel, but it'll be back. Like,
I
oh, that
know.
is. So I'm not a fan of Go. It's when it came out, especially, I was not in an area that was conducive to it, and so
Okay.
in my whole lifestyle, still not the most conducive to it. Excuse me. But I do think that the party hats are probably like one of the best things to come out of that game. Especially if you put it on a ridiculous Pokemon like Wurmple.
Yeah.
That's solid.
Because it's the party hat's like almost too big for him. It's like clearly like about to fall off. Yeah, so that has also started a thing. I'm gonna be meeting with my artist again, probably during spring break. They're gonna be back in town and they're gonna add three more bug type Pokemon with party
I
hats
was about to say a
onto
Wurmple tattoo every year until she catches it.
no, no, we have I think we have a Snome um
Snow, oh, snow.
with the a party hat on each of its little bumpies.
Okay. Oh,
Um
that's good.
and then I want a Shedinja, but I want um it it to be like a ghost.
Okay, is it not
Um,
already
no,
more
so it's
ghosts
a
than
ghost Pokemon, but like I want it to be like ethereal looking. Like I
ethereal?
don't
All
just
right.
want it to look like it
Mm-hmm.
looks in the game. And then I want the party hat to also be ethereal. And
Ve-
then the last is not Sizzlipede. Sizzlipede. Um, because it's so grumpy and I want
Mm.
it to have a black party hat. I need my emo
Oscar the
phase.
Grouch at the party.
Yeah. My emo
Oh,
phase that
that's
was
it.
not a phase needs to be somewhere represented.
So,
Um,
oh
yeah.
man, these are man, Pokemon like Pokemon has so many solid bug Pokemon. These are all solid picks,
Oh
of
yeah.
course. Shedin was like how many years? It's been what, 20 years since Ruby and Sapphire? It still blows my mind how they came up with that concept for
I love
Shedinja.
it.
And like you have to have the extra Pokeball. Oh my, it's so good.
I just love
Um,
it. As an entomologist, like every time I see a cicada shed, I'm
yeah.
just like, it's its own thing. It's a one hit point Pokemon. Ugh,
Oh my gosh.
love it.
And it's so good, right? Like, and like, obviously coming from Japan, right? Like the whole cicada thing and cicada shells, like that's the bug collecting. That's
Hmm.
way bigger there. It's genius. So good.
Yep.
Man, bug Pokemon are so cool.
Correct.
Yeah, I like Heracross. I like Golisopod.
Hmm.
I like
Um,
I like the other one, not the Sizzlipede, the other guy.
Centiskorch.
Yeah. No, no, ah, not Venipede. Is Venipede? No, the big one, Scolipede. Scolipede.
Oh,
That's the one.
hmm.
Gen 5. Yeah, that's a good one. Big old purple, huge train bug. Oh, I love it.
Hmm.
Um, welcome to the Pokemon Appreciation Podcast.
I think people know by now that I'm going to talk about bugs at some point.
That's
Um,
I'm fine with that.
in every pod. Yeah, so I've been playing that. Or I guess I'm not going to be playing that for a while. Um, I've been playing Slay the Spire. So
Okay.
Jeff,
Have you in fact slayed the Spire?
I have slayed the Spire during the daily climbs. So have you ever played this game?
I have not, but I
Okay.
am familiar with it's the cards, right?
Yeah, so it's like a
Yeah.
card and you're going up a tower and slaying things and there's four different types of characters that you can play, but one of them's unlocked at first. But they have this thing called the daily climb every day, which is like a random like version of the game but with modifiers. So it's like, oh, you get this character, but every time you add a card to your deck, it adds two more copies of that card, and you can no longer upgrade your cards, and you're cursed. Like, so they just like add
Ooh.
all this stuff to it, and so it's kind of like a more difficult version, and you have to change your gameplay. So
Hmm.
I have slayed the spire in the daily climbs, but that
Mm.
doesn't count for achievements. And I
Ah.
cannot for the life of me beat this game without a daily climb.
Mm.
So my partner has
Wow.
had to do it for me.
Oh well, hey, I know that feeling. I didn't discuss it because it's ever present, but I'm still Balatro. I actually
Oh
just
yeah.
unlocked the final difficulty just yesterday.
Yeah.
So I'm there, but I get it. I'm trying to climb my own spire,
Yeah,
proverbially.
I've not quite gotten to Balatro yet, but that's because I recognize based on my love of Slay the Spire that Balatro would take over my life. So,
That is correct. That is, I look at Slay the Spire and I can see it's 1-to-1.
yep.
It's just a different flavor, but it's the same concept. Your cards and
Yep.
you're doing your runs with cards. Yep. That's good stuff.
Yep. And then I'm still playing Honey Grove, still really like that game. Still play it every day, multiple times a day. And also, I have now begun the final year of my PhD. I'm going to be a bug doctor soon.
Congrats.
Yeah.
So, uh, turn off for a second because thought you were talking about Honey Grove. It's like what?
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
But
Switch.
Uh, okay, so I have a friend who's also been PhDing for
Okay.
a long time now. He's had unfortunate professors and issues, so it's dragged on for a long
Mm-hmm.
time. Now you say this, are you like you know for a fact that like it is going to be this year? I say I don't mean to sound threatening, but don't
Okay.
mean it's
Well,
look.
yeah, so basically like I set it at this year for this to be like the last like possible time for my
Uh-huh.
timeline. Um I mean theoretically like stuff happens, but
Yeah.
I do not have any more field work. All I have to do is finish writing one of my chapters. I've already published
Hmm.
one of them in a journal, and so that will just literally get like stapled into my dissertation as one of my
There you go.
chapters, and I don't have to look at that again. This other chapter that I'm about to publish will be the same thing. So it'll just be two chapters that my committee can't say anything about because they're
Hmm.
already published. So they'll
Ah,
basically just be like, they'll
look at
just be like,
that.
"Oh,
That's the
yep,
way to do it.
you did that." Like, yep, I did. So they'll only have two that they can talk about. And it's just, can I get the stuff done in the time that I have? And the answer is yes.
Yeah.
I will try and defend in the summer, but that's I actually did never plan to defend in the summer, but I
Hmm.
might be able to. Um, but we'll see. I mean, I don't have to.
Yeah.
I have guaranteed funding for the rest of the year, so
Oh, that's great. Well, oh, that's huge relief then. All right.
yeah,
Well, hey,
PhDs, man,
congrats
they're
on that.
great. Well, I guess
So,
PhDs in the science in the life sciences, that's the standard is that you get paid and you get tuition remission, so you don't have to pay your tuition.
mhm.
I have health insurance, like all of that stuff. So it's not true everywhere.
Like, yeah, yeah, for sure. Oh, absolutely. Like I said, I have a friend who I don't think that is the case for him, sadly.
Yeah.
Um, Man, like PhD, it's such nonsense. Like the way to get there, the road to it. Like I, I have my undergraduate degree, right? So like
Hmm.
it boggles my mind because up till pretty much up till undergraduate, it's very clear. Like, okay, here are your classes, do them all,
Hmm.
satisfy the requirements, you get your thing, right?
Hmm.
But once you go past, especially the PhD, it's all just so nebulous. Question
Hmm.
your checklist is question mark, question mark, question mark. Your requirements are satisfied when the your professors say they are. Oh,
Yep.
it's wild. I don't know how. Yeah, oh, man.
It's basically like choose your own adventure. It's
I
like
guess
undergrads degrees are basically like, okay, here is the proper formula. Here you go.
yes.
You need to have this done, this done, this done, et cetera, et cetera. And then for a graduate degree, they're basically like, here are some courses that you need done, but you'll get these done in the first 2 years of your degree. And then it's just kind of a big old shrug. It depends
Yeah.
on your funding, it depends on your advisors, it depends on whatever. And if you have bad advisors, like you said, your friend has had,
Yeah.
um,
Look.
they can keep you forever. Like one of my friends,
Oh.
yeah, one of my friends, her advisor like would not let her defend, even though she was done. Like she was long done, because the
Mm-hmm.
advisor could just pay her less money than having to like get a postdoc, um,
Right. Right. Like that's one.
to
That's
do
one
all that work.
aspect. That's one aspect of it that just seems so grimy. Like
Yep.
there's clearly an element of very cheap labor for your advisors, professors, right? Like,
Yep.
no, I mean, not yours specifically, but like the the system is set up where that can be exploited very easily. And
Yep.
oh, oh, academia.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm blessed in that, like, with the advisors that I have, the advisor that I
Hmm.
have now, like, he doesn't really do that kind of stuff. But a lot of
Hmm.
advisors do. They'll just be like, okay, well, I'm paying for your stuff, and because of that, like, you also have to help me with these other projects. So at this one point in the year, so you have to drop everything and like do this research with me, even though it's not going to be in your dissertation. Um, and
is
like
to some degree a hostage situation, isn't
kind of, yeah.
it? It's
And then it's worse if
ah
you're an international student because then
oh
you have like less
oh
protections and
oh
yeah.
that sounds terrifying.
Which is
Oh
why
gosh.
some of us, some universities have unionized, and we at my university just recently submitted our letter to the president of the university, that we intend to unionize. So
Hey, good for
thingies,
you. That's great.
thingies crossed there because last time they did this, they threatened people. So they
Oh
can't do that.
oh
That's illegal, but they did it last
oh.
time and it didn't.
Well,
But
I don't
we'll
know if
see.
you know about strikes in the U.S.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Oh,
we're gonna have to do it possibly. Hopefully they'll work in good faith and we won't have to, but we'll see.
hopefully.
So maybe sometime in this year, my what have I been up to will be striking.
Well, but you
Because
know,
yeah.
over on Rainbow Road Radio, friend, I do a mutual friend Alex, who was also striking last month.
Oh
So
my gosh. We're just
hit him up
rebels.
for some tips, I guess. I don't know.
That's awesome.
Oh, 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 labor, academia, good times.
10 out of 10 would not.
Welcome to the harvest season where we talk about cozy games.
Which we talk about. So, I mean, that's the joke, right? Is that we play these
Yeah.
games where we can live in fantasy worlds where we can have a house and afford a house and a like all this stuff. Because that's not reality.
Where's the unionizing update to research story?
Oh my gosh. I would love to have a union like storyline in any game like where you
Oh,
just strike. That would be amazing. I don't know how you would incorporate that.
oh, I mean, like, all right, I'll give you the relatively low hanging easy path.
Yeah.
The JoJo route in Stardew,
Okay, yeah, yeah. I could see that.
right? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, there's other people working for JoJo already, so there's oh no, I like this fanfic I'm writing. Oh no.
Oh no, don't say this out loud. He might listen and then Haunted Chocolatier will be even more delayed because he'll be like, "Hey, wait a minute, that's a great idea."
Unless the ghosts and the chocolatier unites.
Maybe he adds it into that game instead. So yeah, that is what we've been up to.
That's a lot. Happy New Look, guys, it's New Year. There's been a lot
It
going on. Hello,
is.
everyone.
It is. We're here for it. Okay. So first we have some game releases. So the first one in the list is Harvest Hills. So this game released on the 15th of January and or will release, sorry. That's the future. Um Quote, thanks to the feedback from two major demo updates, I've been able to fine tune game mechanics and make the experience even better. The full game now features an updated system for growing vegetables and fruits, an improved fertilizing system, a refined leveling system, a brand new product selling system, and more crops, vegetables, fruit trees, livestock, and homemade product machines. Um, my only comment about this is I looked at it and I need more information about those beehives. They look
So,
they look legit. Like those look
yeah.
like the standard Langstroth hives, and we always paint them each frame, or not each frame, each body of the hive is
Mhm.
always colored in really ridiculous colors, and they did that.
Okay,
Uh,
is that done intentionally or is that done just for just for
I
giggles?
don't remember. So I know that we paint them because you want there to you don't want the heat like if it's hot out, you don't want the heat of outside to like cook the hive. So
Oh,
you
oh,
always want it to
yeah.
be light colors. But yeah,
Sure, sure.
on top of it being light colors, I mean you can just have it be fun colors. Sometimes you can like
Okay.
make it a color per hot like a certain color per hive or whatever, but we always just painted them fun colors. So
Well,
I need more.
so I'm looking at the trailer and stuff like my okay. It is more management style, like Zoo Tycoon,
Mm-hmm.
floating cam sort of thing, as opposed to Stardew where you're controlling the character. But there's a character who follows your like area where you click, and he runs over there and does the activity, which is kind of fun. I think the coolest thing about here is the visual style because it's almost like origami paper, like it's very heavy polygonal.
Mm-hmm.
Some of like the cows almost look like they're made of origami or a box or something,
Yeah,
which is charming. But hey, good. Yeah, it looks decent enough. I like those cows, and you go pretty beehives. That is surprising that we don't have those before, but
I like
there
those
you go, January
cows.
15th. Experience it yourself. The world of box-shaped cows and fun colors and hives.
Hmm. So next on our list is Chilltown. They have a new announcement on Steam. And the gist of it is this just that the project slowed down because of money issues. And they're pretty transparent in there about what they are and where the money's going and all of that, except for they can't like mention specifics because of confidentiality agreements. But if you're curious, I recommend going and looking at that. The biggest thing out of it, other than the fact that it was delayed, is being slowed down, is that the 1.0, they expect it to come out this year. And that when the 1.0 comes out, it will have a museum system. It will have additional quest lines, different seasons and festivals, and clearly bug fixes and gameplay improvements from what is on the early access. So,
All right. So, well, I mean, hey, first of all, props to like game development is so hard, right? It's such a brutal
mhm,
space to be quite frank. So, yeah, condolences, but they're being very upfront and clear about it.
mhm,
So props to them and best of luck. Like, hopefully they are still on track, right? This is one of the perks of early access, as much as I begrudge the concept.
mhm,
Like giving these guys chance to make a little money, get a little few bucks coming in to help make the whole thing possible.
mhm.
Um, but yeah, so yeah, best of luck to them. Um, the game looks is Animal Crossing E really. Like there's
Mhm.
no doubt about it. I wish they would use at least a different name. That's the big like obviously the name's the first thing you see when we look at these things and just oh, why does this corner of the gaming sphere struggle with names? Can't you just make up your own fake island name or something just to stand out a little? But anyways, yeah. Oh my God, this is just and they got the pontoon. This is just Animal Crossing. I'm sorry. But you do have a cat with you, like running around with you, which Animal Crossing does not.
Mhm.
Oh, there's a tarantula. That's a real looking tarantula.
Yep.
Um, but yeah, there you go. If you would need an Animal Crossing fix, check out Chilltown.
Yep. Next up is Dragon Shelter. I don't ever remember talking about this, so I got really excited. There's a teaser trailer out now. Um, and I am here for this art style. I
Okay,
love how
yeah,
this looks.
that's what I was about to say, right? Like with a bullet, this thing like it's very dense forest, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's we're talking fantasy, of course, Team Dragon Shelter, right? But it's just beautifully done vegetation. That's what's selling me. Like even the dirt paths have like dirt sticking out and just oh, it's such a feast for the eyes. It's so good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the physics engine of a lot of the stuff is really good too. It just looks more textured and detailed than your average cozy game. Um, so I am here for it. Props for that.
Yeah.
Um, Also, I loved that in the middle of the trailer, at some point, you are carrying your dragon friend
Yeah.
to their little home. They're not their home, but their little like bed by the hearth in your home. And that is just
Yes,
the cutest thing.
it is. All right. So with a name like that, the dragon part needs to be good, all right? And it looks
Hmm.
really good because it is one dragon, it looks like that's, your pet
To
slash
start
friend.
with,
And
yeah.
oh, to start with, are there more?
Yeah, so
I don't know.
later it says that there's like other dragons and they each have unique
Oh, yeah,
abilities
I,
and
I see it. Okay, yeah, I see it now. I didn't make it that far in the trailer, but yeah, at least like you are taking care of a dragon. Oh yeah, build your dragon shelter. Um, okay, this is a very solid concept for a game.
hmm
I'm looking forward to this. I love the dragon design too, like the one they're using predominantly in the trailers, like blue. It kind of glows almost. It has like translucent wings.
hmm
Oh, this is it. What a good game.
Yeah,
Uh, you know, oh,
definitely
this
excited.
is how you stand out. Take notes, everyone else. This is how you stand out. Oh.
And then in their blurb, I really liked this one quote that stood out to me. So, quote, "For us, this game is more than just a farming simulator. We want you to experience how important it is to be friends, care for each other, and become part of something bigger. Dragon Shelter is a story about friendship, warmth, and building a world where you feel at home."
Hmm.
And I just like that
So,
emphasis on like, because
mhm.
you do like care for your friends, and then also it seems like you help out your neighbors in kind of a unique way. So,
I do hope that pans out because, like, that's one of the challenges a lot of cozy hardcore games face, right? Like, a lot of the social interactions just become very transactional,
hmm.
right? Like just sort of checklists of things to do to get the benefits or raise your hearts or whatever.
Yeah.
So and I think part of it is the fact that you're like restoring or building this town because yeah, everything's overrun and hensely they're densely vegetated, and you're helping repair buildings and stuff like that. So I think that is a clever way to get your invested into the community in the town.
Hmm.
Um, oh man, that what a good looking game. No, obviously no date or anything yet,
Yeah.
but it's I can't. Oh gosh, I hope it comes out soon for it all.
Keeping my eyes on
Actually,
it for sure.
I'll teaser trail. This looks like a lot of work has been done. A lot of polish to be quite frank. So I'm
Hmm.
actually confident on this. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yep. Next bit of news is SteamWorld Build is going to have some physical copies. Woo. Um, so on January 9th, which will be the day after this comes out, um, there will be a physical release, and I'm wondering if it's just like the first 2,000 orders or whatever, because they say that there's only 2,000 copies of the PlayStation 5 available and 4,000
Hmm.
copies of the Nintendo Switch. So I'm wondering if it's just something you like order online,
It's
and it's the first however many people. I doubt it's like we put
yeah.
100 copies at this GameStop and this place and
Yeah, no,
like,
it's in with a third party site called Super Rare Games. I'm not familiar with them, but I'm
okay,
assuming it's just a limited run game situation. That's just what I'm assuming this is.
okay.
Um, yeah, and so they have yeah, PS5, Switch. Yep, there's trading cards just like limited run games. So you can check that out. Um, they have yeah, they have a link to their website. There's Duck Detective. Oh, Smooshy! They're carrying physical with Smooshy on this
Ooh,
website. Huh. Oh, okay. Um,
interesting.
wow, wow, they just went. They're really. This is just limited run games at home. I'm sorry. This has nothing to do with SteamWorld Build. Just their abbreviation is SRG instead of LRG. That's well. Um, yeah. Well, there you go. I know SteamWorld's popular, so I'm sure people will be interested. So yeah, can you keep that at 6 p.m. GMT or 10 a.m. PST
Hmm.
on January 9th? Make sure you're logged in so you can, or whatever, stay up early. Um, all those good times to get your limited edition Steam World Build physical copy.
Yep. Next, just basic, the Echoes of the Plum Grove. You can now buy the digital art book. So quote, the art of Echoes of the Plum Grove is now available on Steam for 2.99 USD.
Okay.
Come check out all the behind the scenes content and journey to making this game. The art book is already available for those who've purchased the collector's edition. So if you purchase that edition, you already have it. But if not, this is now something you can buy.
You know, this feels like something I think almost every indie game should do because it feels
Hmm.
like such a win-win, right? Like it gets them a little more cash in their pocket, but it's also it's cool. Art books are very cool. Getting the
Hmm.
behind the scenes look and just looking at the pretty pictures.
Hmm.
So this is a thumbs up for sure. Um,
My
yeah, good
brain, I
stuff.
was like, how much would you pay for a Wildflowers art book?
Oh, okay. Are we talking? Okay, for a phys. Oh gosh, I think like how nice of a physical are we talking? Okay, so maybe I'm just this is just me old manning. I'm like about the digital art books don't do it for me as much.
Yeah, I get that.
So like $10, maybe 15. If it's a really big one. Um, Now the physical though, like that's where we can, there's some room to play because if you're coming out with a real nice one with hard copy, oh,
Hmm.
yeah. Would I pay 50? Maybe. The answer is not no. uh, but like 20, $30, I think is a reasonable starting price for, and this isn't just Wildflowers for any art book, I think.
Hmm.
Yeah. Um, that, yeah. So,
Give
but
me
hey,
the art book for a dragon shelter.
oh my gosh, please. Can you imagine how it must be like a painter or something, right? Somebody made like
Yeah.
on just
There's some legit
landscape
artists on that
foil.
game.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
Hmm.
That would be incredible. Oh my gosh. All right, but there you go. Echoes of the Plum. That's available now already. Yep, it is. $3. I will say $3 is a great price because it's a small game. The art style is very Paper Mario-y, so
Hmm.
maybe not exactly quite the art book content you'd expect from other games, but yeah, $3, great price.
Yep. Just something you can do to just support the people a little bit more if that's a game that you really like. Okay, so we have some game updates. Um, so first is Harvest Moon Home Sweet Home. They now have controller support and cloud save, and that is available now. The controller support, this is from Al. The controller support works well. You can still use the go to this point on the map feature even when the controller is enabled. Nice. He also says the cloud save doesn't work.
Sick. Oh yeah. Oh, it's Harvest Moon. We can't have it too feel good. Um oh yeah.
I don't
Um
remember what the issue is, but oh, excuse me. We talked about it a little bit in the Slack. Um, and it seemed funny, but
mhm.
I didn't listen. So,
Mm,
but yep. So
good times.
if you wanted to play that game, and you were waiting for controller support, there you go. If you're waiting on cloud save, maybe wait a little bit longer, for them to figure
Oh,
that out.
oh,
Hopefully they have it
or
figured out by now, but I don't
maybe a
think so.
lot longer.
Yeah.
Oh,
They're
okay.
still figuring that out.
Like these when did this game come out?
I don't know.
Um, because these always feel like, they should be kind of at launch almost really, right?
Yeah, like, come on, you're a big enough company that you should. Why are you doing it
Yeah,
this
especially
way?
Natsume, thank you, right?
Yeah.
Like an indie developer, that's one thing,
Hmm.
but yeah, that's um
Getting these big companies that are just like riding on the backs of people's compassion for indie games, and they're just like, oh, cool, we can also do like, no, no, no.
you know the worst part is like I know it's been literally decades, but it still breaks my heart to see the Harvest Moon logo. This
Yeah.
oh my nostalgia. All right, there you go. Home sweet home. You got your news that doesn't fully work update. Oh.
Research story, the last major update before 1.0 is out now, and they call it the Shimmering update. So they
Remember we talked about this.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so they add more shimmers, which are basically shiny versions of the little creatures that you can find in the game.
Yeah.
Um, they add a greenhouse and a new heart level.
There you go. That there's a guy with a singular horn off to the side, not unicorn style. And I'm just noting that in the characters they
Oh
decided to
yeah,
this
yeah.
person, or I say guy, I don't know what their gender is actually, but yeah, there's a character with a horn. Okay, good
hmm
to know.
he might have one on the other side, but he's in a side view, so you don't see that. Um, Yeah, so that update is out now, and then they've mentioned that in the 1.0 update will add red heart events, a full marriage system, legendary research, continuation and completion of our main story quest. So if you've been playing in the early access, like Bev and I did when we covered it on the pod, Bev played a lot more than I did, so I need to play more. Uh, then they will be continuing that story in 1.0, which should be coming out sometime this year.
Yeah, well, yeah. Well, hey, it does sound like they're going to hit 1.0.
hmm
They're going to hit all the check marks. So good for your research story.
hmm We're here for
Um,
it.
yeah,
Next up is Go Town. They have a new roadmap. So they kind of in this update on Steam, they kind of talked about, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, what they did all of 2024. And they kind of like showed they actually got a lot done looking at that the updates that they had throughout this whole last year.
yeah,
They did a
yeah.
lot. Kudos to them. And they also talked about some updates coming up. So one is called Bits and Bobs update. That's coming just Q1 this year sometime. And they're cleaning up gameplay and doing some other quality of life things. They also talk about three other major updates in their new roadmap. All of these updates are to be determined when they're coming out. They have an online multiplayer or co-op one, which I think is probably what most people are waiting for. That's what we all want in this
Yeah,
game
really. I
because this is
mean,
such a goofy little game.
yep.
So that will be exciting. Then they also have a thing called grinding gears, which will give more automation. So Al is rejoicing. And then content explosivo. So a content explosion. They just say that they're adding like more, I mean, more content, more things that you can
More
collect,
everything. I
more
mean,
everything. Yeah.
that's kind of what they need, right?
I mean, yeah,
Um,
they have the basics, so now they just need
yeah,
to flesh it out
yeah.
more. Excuse me. Um, you know when that there's like you just randomly get hit with the sleepies.
I'm pretty. I've never been diagnosed, but I'm fairly confident I could say I'm narcoleptic. So yes, I do know that
Oh
feeling.
wow, okay.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
well, yeah, so I'm just yawning away right now, even though I do
Oh,
not really feel tired. My
oh
brain was
man,
just
Chloe.
starved for oxygen.
Oh, m- yeah. Yeah, narcolepsy's fun. Let me tell you. All right. You know what
The
else is starved for oxygen?
what?
A rundown world that's all polluted and corrupted. And that's when the Terra Nil people show up. Um, and so we've got an update from Terra Nil, and so I'm doing my best here. I'm trying not to scream, people, but because I got Terra Nil, it is the post is very short. It is
Yeah.
a heat wave is coming to Terra Nil soon. Stay cool. More details next year. We have an image that looks like two, three new biomes, several new animals, we're getting new stuff for Terra Nil. I'm so excited. And look at the audacity of these people. They know what they're doing. They just drop it, just they're too cool for us, and they'll be
They
back later.
they're
They drop the
taking
mic
they're
and
taking
left.
something out of Concerned Ape's book with just dropping like one picture and like 12 words.
And it's working because I'm here with my magnifying glass, just scraping this. Oh man. Oh, there's a giraffe in there. That's new too. Very excited. I love Terra Nil very much so. So there, hopefully it'll be new. We get this content update this year or whatever. We got a
Yeah.
mess like Mesa looking biome thing, whatever.
Yeah, so I'm
Um,
wondering if so it says heat wave. I'm assuming it's
yeah.
gonna have drought and probably fire? Question mark?
Probably. So what's interesting is their fire is a mechanic in Terra Nil, but it's usually controlled and you use
Yeah,
it. So that'll be interesting to see. You
that'll
have
be
to deal with it.
uncontrolled.
Yep. And yeah, clearly this is going to be a like big update. That's why it has the subtitle like Beta Nova did. Looking forward to it. Nothing I can do nothing else but just sit and wait. Because nothing else they didn't tell us. Oh,
Yep. Okay, so finally we have some new games. There are three new games in this wrap up of things. So the first is called Cattle Country.
all right, hold it. We know what has to be done. Howdy, partner. Welcome to Cattle Country, the cozy cowboy adventure life sim. Become a determined pioneer traveling west to start a new life. Make a home in the mountains, take on bandits, discover dastardly plots, build a farm, develop your town, and make friends with fellow residents.
Hell
There's
yeah.
square dancing in this trailer. There really
There's
is.
also, I don't know if you're listening to the trailer, but they have it's legitimately a song.
That's the all I didn't listen. I haven't listened to.
It's like a
Oh
song
my gosh.
that
Lyrics.
a lyrical song that's like about come to cattle country and
Oh,
like
that's so
all the stuff.
good.
It's pretty, I was listening and I was like, oh man, what song are they like, did they get the rights to play over this thing? And then I was like, oh no, this is their song,
Yeah. Oh, this is good.
which is wild because it's like, it seems like it's a really good like qualities like song.
Yeah, they put effort into that.
Nailed
Absolutely.
it.
And this is just for like the revealed announcement trailer or whatever. Oh man, this is yeah. Oh well. So, all right, well, the game it's pixel art. It's Stardew-esque, but more emphasis on the cattle stuff. The cows are quite big actually. There's a lot of
Hmm.
cows even. You got trains. There's bandits. I don't know what's going on. You're fighting like six, seven bandits at once with like two
Dude,
other
and
people.
you straight up murder them.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. You're. It's what's that game called? Uh, King of the Prairie, whatever the Prairie game in Stardew.
Oh
It's that
yeah,
mini game,
yeah.
but it's real.
Yeah, you basically just yeah. Go on, scoot over.
Yep. I don't know.
Stella
Why don't what?
decided to be on my lap and I didn't want that. Yeah.
There's a two-person sawing thing going on here. There's
Yeah.
people. Okay, like all cowboy stuff aside, it looks like you get people going with you frequently, right? And I'm going to assume they're not even just other players. It looks like maybe NPCs will join you for stuff. And if
Hmm.
that's the case, that's super exciting. Um, Obviously my interest is piqued.
Yep.
Will we cover this so I can sing a version of the song? Maybe.
Whoever covers this on the podcast has to learn the song and you have to do a
Yeah,
duet.
yeah. There we go. Um,
I'm
oh, they got a
looking.
demo. Oh my gosh, I didn't pay attention. They have a demo
Hmm.
on Steam and all that stuff. That's
Yep.
fascinating.
So
There you go, Cattle County.
something
Um,
something
oh
to
wow.
keep track of.
Oh, this thing's coming for real. They have pre-orders for Switch and PS5 versions. Um, oh
Mm.
yeah,
Do they have a
this is a
date?
real game. Let me see. I'm
Oh, it just
scrolling
says
through.
this year. I think it just says
Okay,
2025. But yeah, Nintendo Switch, PS5, and PC on Steam. So,
there you go. Yeah, that like all fun and goofiness is the fact that NPCs can join you around. That feels like something they've been missing for so long in cottage core games. I can't wait to experience that.
mm-hmm.
Um, good stuff.
Yup.
Um,
So the
all right,
next,
next.
yeah, next game is called Litchi Town.
Which
Quote,
is an interesting name.
enter the Litchi Town, a game that turns the rural life into a canvas for your creativity. Forge bonds with the townies and engage in the timeless art of designing your own farm and cultivating friendships. As the seasons shape the landscape, savor the simple pleasures and tranquil moments.
So
I
I will not be playing this
Why?
because it looks like we're talking about slow games here. You remember
You
that
guys
whole
are
thing?
you guys are game guzzlers on this pod. I'm
Oh,
sure.
I'm not. I'm just remembering the what was the game of the year episode where we are talking about how he doesn't like slow games or the slow aspects of games.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that said, it doesn't look particularly slow. It looks a lot like other farming games. The art style is kind of nice.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of Japanese not kind of.
No,
There's literally Japanese on the walls. It's
it's China.
Japanese.
It's Chinese.
Oh, Chinese. I'm sorry,
Yeah,
my
it's
mistake.
Chinese.
Um, well, there you go.
I actually really like so a lot of it looks like it incorporates like traditional Chinese cooking and farming and festivals.
hmm
Um, in one of the pictures or video, I can't remember, there's a classic lion dancing costume.
What?
Um, yeah.
So cool.
So that I think it would be so cool if you are part of the lion in one of the like festival
Oh, that'd
mini
be so
games or
cool.
something and you do like a dance. Oh my gosh, and it would be so cool if there was like a lion dance part of a festival where if you played with another friend, I don't know if there's co-op or not, if they're planning on
Yeah.
co-op, but
You
if
guys have to
someone
sync
was
up the
the,
lion.
yeah, like someone's the front of the lion and someone's the back of the lion. We
That'd be
had
great.
my high school had a couple families that were from China and they did lion dancing and they brought a lot of that stuff to like assemblies. It was
Uh-huh.
so fun to watch.
That is
It's
so
just
cool.
such a beautiful culture and
It
like
is.
one of the oldest that we know, like that
Yeah.
has
Yeah.
everything. So I'm excited to play for that reason specifically because it seems like I would learn a lot about because
Yeah,
this isn't like
they're
the
in there.
regular farming that you think of because this isn't like Western like farming. It's very much like traditional Chinese farming. So,
Yeah.
though I will
Um,
say it says rich relationships as part of one of the things that's in this game.
hmm
The characters' names are like shoe store owner and
Blacksmith, tea
teacher,
house daughter, and of course everyone's favorite, the flower shop girl.
flower shop girl.
Actually, flower maybe my favorite out of the ones I've seen.
I like the
Barber is
dialogue.
very pretty. What a very pretty barber. Oh, teacher!
Yeah, teacher.
You're gonna be hot for teacher.
The dialogue looks great. Like the things that the people are saying, like it seems like they have personalities and stuff. And I'm wondering if you come up to them and you just know that they are the teacher and then they can introduce themselves and
Oh,
then
that
you get their
that would
name.
be cool.
Um, that would be cool, but so I look forward to learning these people's names. But yeah, I really like the look of this game. Um, it just says coming soon, so there's nothing really going on in the way of timing, but they do have a Discord and a Kickstarter project. Oh, and it says click to follow our Kickstarter project, and there's nothing you can click. Why can't I
Oh,
click?
that's good times.
Why can't I
Um,
click?
so I need to okay, hold on. This threw me off for a second. Because the developers called S Second Life Games. I
Hmm.
Googled it and I was getting results for that one game, Second Life. And it said
Oh,
the virtual, that one
yeah, yeah.
threw me off for a second. It's like, wait, is that that? No, I
No,
don't think it is. But
it's not.
um, okay, yeah, okay, that's all right. Well, I guess these guys are. I don't see a lot about them, but wow, this is a really impressive looking game. I gotta say.
Mhm.
Because we're talking full 3D. Everything visually, it's very pretty. Um, a lot of work and a lot of details. Like there's so many costume outfits. You can jog in jogging gear, like
Hmm.
your full sweatsuit. The cooking system's interesting. It looks like you're basically throwing like, or there's a menu and you're throwing ingredients and there's different pots and woods and oh, it's very pretty. This is pretty cool looking. Also, you're beating a giant toad with a stick. You're just wailing on it. I
Yeah.
don't know why, but you're just beating up on that.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, that looks cool. There is a panda. Panda confirmed in this game.
Yep.
And like I said, the Chinese cult pigs are very pronounced, very pretty. Yeah, very nice looking game. I'm intrigued for sure. Look, they even got one of those little family memorial shrines too. That's very cool. Yeah, very cool looking game.
Yep.
Litchi means something in Chinese. I don't know.
I don't know. So the final game that we have to talk about is we saved the best for last
I was about to say, forget everything else. This is the only thing that matters.
is called Cinnabunny.
Okay, all right, hold on, people. Like that name can mean different things. Like well, go ahead, just go ahead.
Okay. Oh my gosh. So Cinnabunny, quote, Cinnabunny is a cozy life simulator game where you play as a bunny who runs a bakery. So you unlock new recipes, go bird watching, collect mushrooms, and charm your community. Save up enough carrots to help your family move. So that last line got my attention. So I then went deeper into their Steam page and I found this quote, "Oh no, your cute hoppy bunny family is fighting a nasty drought, but they'll be okay for a while. But your mother has tasked you with finding a new place for the family to live. After a long journey, you found it. Welcome to Sugar Creek Burrows, a paradise among buns. Run your new bakery and save up so your family can move here too." I love that this is not your traditional, your grandma or your grandfather or your uncle gave you a farm.
So on the Slack, that's something we talked about relatively recent, right? Like
Yeah.
how much there's plenty of room for the mess of the what's kicks off your journey, and this is a great one. This is a
Yep.
fantastic one. Um, and also like it also gives you a clear end goal, right? Like when you're gonna hit credits, probably when your family moves in or whatever.
Yep.
I like that a lot. An actual objective. Um, so yeah, that is very cool, but it somehow that's still not the coolest thing because this game is just I'm astounded by everything I'm
Yeah.
seeing. So, okay, it was said, but we cannot emphasize this enough. You are playing as a bunny.
You are a bunny.
Everyone is bunnies, and it's so cute. You're baking bread, you're kneading the dough, you're placing furniture, you're farming, all as bunnies. You're
Hmm.
putting your bread in the oven. Oh my goodness, Cinnabunny is such a good name. There's other bunnies. But then they weren't finished because towards the latter half, you get to start seeing the other stuff you can do, such as one of those little those little mine carts, but the kind with the handles, the two
Oh yeah.
one. You operate one of those. I don't know where you're going. Looks like there's a cave. You churn butter as a bunny. You can fly planes as a bunny.
Yeah, the planes was ridiculous.
You can go, was it called windboarding or whatever when you're the
Wakeboarding?
parasail? I don't parasailing. I don't know which one this is, but the sails up in the wind and you're on the lake skiing or whatever. You're
Hmm.
doing that as a bunny.
You also ride
You're
a deer at some point in the trailer.
I might have missed that or I have to go. There's a lot going on in this trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah. you can listen to the band, the Lumineers, with EARS playing.
The Lumen ears, because bunnies have ears. They're big. Yeah.
So let's okay, and you're running your bakery. You have a little stand outside. I love how the bunnies both hop on all fours, but will stand up upright too to do
Mm-hmm.
things. You have binoculars. You're looking at stuff. Oh, there it is. You're right. You're riding a deer as a bunny. I don't know
Yep.
why, but you can.
Yep, you
Um,
do.
so let's see. Planned release date February 19th, 2025.
Count me
That's
in.
very soon, uncomfortably soon. Um, this comes from Reki Studios. I don't know. Let's see. They have another game called Bun House, so they're not strangers in the bun world. They have a game called You're Not Special. I don't know what that's about, but okay. So they, well, you know what? Congratulations. I'm clapping my hands.
Mm-hmm.
Reki Studios. I don't think anyone ever has won Game of the Year at the start of the year, but you did it, Reki Studios. Congratulations. And Cinnabunny for winning our Game of the Year 2025 because this game is great.
So I have a lot more to say about this game, but I just went to go look at the system requirements, and they got funny down here.
They got what?
They got funny. So graphics, they recommend a certain like graphics card or whatever, and then they have
Hmm.
you probably can't run this on your mama's generic laptop.
Oh, oh,
And
that's how
then
you're
they
gonna be.
have sound card. Yeah, you probably have one of those too. You should probably have one of those too. VR support. Nah, I fear that bunnies in VR might make things too real and the players would die of cuteness overload.
And to be fair, that's very possible.
And then additional notes. Look, I'll level with you. I'm a solo dev with marginal experience in optimization using a resource-hungry engine, so you're going to need a mid-tier gaming computer if you want to keep up a good FPS and visual fidelity.
This is a single person.
Yeah, I love this other another thing. It says recommended sound card. Put your head inside a tuba while your best friend goes crazy. Oh my gosh, they had fun with
Oh my
this. Yeah,
God.
this human is doing great because this looks great. These things
This
are adorable.
is oh make sure you have at least one additional controller. Wait, co-op. You're saying there's co-op?
Oh yeah, yeah. So that's I have more stuff. So I got sucked into the hilarity. So I wanted to mention three different things. First, bird watching. So they say use your birdoculars. I don't know why they're called birdoculars instead of binoculars, but whatever.
Because they're watching birds. I'm
Okay,
sure
but
it's self-explanatory.
we use binoculars in the real to watch bird. Okay, wait, anyway, to capture
Well, maybe
pictures.
we should be using birdoculars.
Oh my gosh, to
That
capture
seems like an issue with us.
pictures of the various bird species around Sugar Creek burrows. With over 30 species of birds to discover, each with true to life bird calls, you'll have to scour the skies in various weather, seasons, and times of day to find them all.
They won't
This,
all be that one falcon or hawk or whatever that they use
yeah,
for
yeah, the
everything.
red tail hawk that they then
Yeah.
put onto an eagle. Yeah, no. So I'm super excited because I do bird a little bit in real life and
Hmm.
especially because I work in forests, so I've come to like just know different bird calls. So while I'm playing this game, I'm gonna be like, oh my gosh, it's a yellow-bellied sapsucker or whatever, and I'll just like try and go look for it. And I like that people might learn birds. You'll
That's
also
very
learn
cool.
mushrooms.
Just, I was going to say, just as an aside, a random thought completely. Like, I don't, is bird hunting big in other areas of the world? Like,
Birding?
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, like, and I'm talking about like, what about where you have like ostriches or emus? Do those count?
I mean, yeah, but those are, I think people aren't really looking for those in the same way.
I would. But anyways, sorry. Yeah, so you can find birds. That's very cool. Birds are very cool. I will say that.
Yeah.
So yeah, there you go. Well,
And then, yeah, you can collect
one,
mushrooms.
I don't like
Um,
mushrooms, but okay, that's nice.
they just say that the surrounding forests and caves are home to 40 different species of mushrooms, and you can become an expert mycologist. Love
Yeah,
that.
I'm pretty sure there's a mushroom museum house or something in the trailer.
Ooh, okay. I mean that's cool because it'll I'm excited to learn about different mushrooms. Mushrooms are crazy, and I know a lot of my friends that go mushrooming, and I could never because there's always like they really like these certain mushrooms, but there's always another mushroom that looks very similar that could kill you. And I don't trust myself to know the difference. So,
Mm,
but I'll trust my friends. Also, I don't like mushrooming, but I always find morels and people love morels. Like
hmm
I had a friend, I put a morel on iNaturalist and she texted me like the next day and she was like, take that down. I'm going to go get it. And I don't want other people to see it. Oh my gosh. Um, yeah, so you can do that. Okay, and then the final blurb here. This is about the being multiplayer. So this is from the developer. Quote, Cinnabunny is a local multiplayer game, meaning two people can play on the same system. There is no native online multiplayer. In order to play with another person, you will need at least one gamepad. Xbox controllers work well. There is no split keyboard controls. It is possible to play online multiplayer via Steam's Remote Play Together feature. One computer will connect another to play. However, the second player must have a controller for this to work. This is a limitation of the game engine I use and how it handles local multiplayer. So it looks like you can have both like you can each have controllers, but you can't each have gamepad or keyboards.
Keyboards, yeah.
Okay.
I well, I mean, that might not be a problem. Like, I
No,
assume I'm guessing the keyboard is probably more like shortcut stuff than actual like,
yeah,
mandatory or whatever stuff. So I'm sure it'll be work just fine.
yeah.
Um,
Well, and
so
there's always like in most friend groups, there's always a person who prefers controllers and a person who prefers keyboards. So you're set.
yeah, then there's that. Yeah. Um, man, I I just keep looking through everything. There's more and more I see. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I love how the scales of the bunnies are kind of off because they're big enough to ride dirt, but also there's birds. I'm not sure how the scale works. Okay, I so you farm in the game because of course you do.
Hmm.
It looks like you're farming wheat for your flour and your bread and whatnot. I like how when they're harvesting, they're kind of samurai sorting, slashing the wheat. It looks very cute.
Hmm.
Also, just a thought. So clearly the currency is carrots. I like how they can farm, but they're not going to farm carrots apparently. So you have to sell for those. Um, this game 6 weeks. No, I don't. I wasn't ready for this. Oh no.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm sure we'll probably cover it on the pod. Um,
I do. Al. Al says, tells me not to make promises. I'm making a promise. We will cover this game on this show.
we promise, Al doesn't promise, but if a couple of us promise, then it's good enough.
I will go solo. He knows I will.
For sure. And that's the last game. So, um, thank y'all for coming to our first actually in the new year pod, where we got caught up on some news. Kev, where can people find you?
All right. Well, um, you can find me on Twitter at Koopa Prez or Blue Sky. I try. I like Blue Sky, but Twitter is it's like a drug. It's got the dank memes on it. I can't get away from it.
Yeah.
Um, but sometimes I like to look at the trash five. Anyways, so yeah, at Cooper Press, of course, everywhere. At Spider Squared, I have an account. I do want to make the serious effort on Blue Sky because obviously Twitter's got the stupid AI stuff, so I want to get all my art off there,
Yeah.
and transfer it over. But that's work, so I haven't gotten to it yet. I have been doing a lot of work like off the social medias though, so that's been nice. But yeah, again, at Cooper, that's Spider Square. Or, most importantly, if you want to hear more of me, you can hop on over to Rainbow Road Radio. the Mario themed podcast I do with our mutual friend Alex, where we do all things Mario. So you know what? If you want to hear my thoughts on mushrooming, I could tell you all about the bee mushroom, the rock mushroom, the spring mushroom, and so on and so forth. Um, so yeah, you can go listen to that. We got a pretty decent year planned ahead. We're going to spend a lot of time on Super Mario Odyssey because there's a lot of stuff in that game. So we're gonna break it out, and 2025 is the year of the Odyssey for us. What about you, Cody? Where do people find you?
They can find me on Instagram at Hiking Beagle, Beagle. Kev, I'm pretty sure you're the one that made me change it.
Yeah, I was the one who brought it to the attention. I'm glad you went with it.
Yeah, once you mentioned it, I was like, I have to do that.
That's
So
pretty,
it's pretty good. I
pretty.
love it.
Yep.
So yeah, that's me on Instagram, and then I am also on Blue Sky at my name. I technically still have a Twitter, but I really only check it like once a week to see if anyone's messaged me on there. Other
Yeah.
than that, I've already scrubbed all of my tweets off of that site,
Uh,
so that they can't be used by AI.
well, see, hey, here's the thing. I almost rarely actually tweet myself. I'm just always retweeting other stuff. So
Yeah.
good to go. But yeah, no,
Woo.
that's the move. That's the move. I want to. Yeah, yeah. Blue Sky is. I like Blue Sky.
Yeah. I like it a lot. So that's where I am mo for the most part. You can find Al at the Scott bot on mastodon.scott and a lot of other things. You can find the pod on Tumblr and other places at THS Pod. You can give us feedback and get links to the show notes and transcripts and all of that at harvestseason.club. You can also find our link to the Patreon, patreon.com/thspod, where you get access to the Slack and the Patreon exclusive version called The Greenhouse. We recently had a Greenhouse episode with Kev and Al talking about what they're excited for this year that is not a cottagecore game.
Yeah,
Um,
but
I
because I
scoffed
love how.
at one of the
Wait,
things
sorry.
that Al was excited
Wait,
about.
what did you wait? What did you scoff at? Which one? It's been a while. I don't even remember.
Uh, he said he was excited for Mario Kart.
Uh,
And
oh,
I detest the fact that they just like basically are a nostalgia machine and they just put the same game out every time.
well, now that you're talking in my bro. Okay. Mario Kart in general across the board, I wouldn't say that. But
Okay.
the problem is Mario Kart 8 has been the game for
Yeah.
10 years now, actually. So in that sense, you're absolutely right. I can't contest that.
Well, you said
And
because
what's
yeah, you said they were going to put out Mario Kart 8 Super Deluxe Ultimate
That's
or something.
correct.
I mean,
And
that's a
what
joke,
scares me
but
is no. Well, see, here's the thing. I always say that as a joke, but at the same time, you, it could very, very well be the case, right? Because we're getting Switch too. Slapping the completed Mario Kart 8 with all the DLC that came out on the Switch, on the Switch 2, like
yeah.
it is super within the realm of possibility. So yes, I'm scared. Yeah, but no, so you're not wrong about Mario Kart 8. Like in general, Mario Kart, I think there's more to offer, but that's 10 years running. So
Yeah. I'm just sick of the nostalgia machine that is everything nowadays. Like, I was listening to a
it's
podcast about how all of this year's movies were like best movies, top grossing movies were like Kung Fu Panda 4, Inside Out 2, Moana 2, the Wicked movie, which is technically a prequel to Wizard of Oz and is
an
the
adaptation of
musical.
a musical.
Yeah, and like all this stuff. And then also so when I went and saw Sonic 3
I was about to
and
say, okay, but what about
the
Sonic 3 though?
trailers. So I love Sonic. I love Sonic. 3. I thought it was really, I mean, it's what I expected it to be.
Oh
But there
yeah,
were
for
some
sure.
hilarious moments. But there were trailers before Sonic 3. They are coming out with a Lilo and Stitch live action.
Oh, do they have the trailer for that?
They had the trailer for that. And then they also had the trailer for How to Train Your Dragon live action,
Live action, yeah.
which was basically a one for one of the animated version.
Yes, yes.
I
So
hate
people,
that.
yeah, yep, it's awful. It's
I
awful.
hate that. Like,
And I love How to Train Your Dragon so much. What a great film. And just one,
but Toothless looks exactly the same. Like they pretty much took the How to Train Your Dragon like
yeah,
trailer for the first movie and just
yeah.
put it in the other version. And I was just mm-mm.
It hurts. It
If you're
hurts.
gonna do
So,
a live action, do something like show something new, show something cool.
yep,
Um,
yep.
so
You know what hurts that like the actual like model for live action quote unquote when Stitch is CGI, but
mhm.
it looks decent. Like
Yeah.
look at the Stitch, it looks decent, but
Yep.
I hate the concept of it. Well, but are you excited for live action Moana, which we have already seen
Ugh.
The Rock in the bodysuit?
Ugh.
Oh, it's great. Oh, but Sonic 3 though.
Sonic 3 was really
How
good.
about Keanu?
So that was really funny because my partner was with me and he was just like, "Is that Keanu Reeves?"
Yeah, it
He was
is.
so upset. And then there was another actress that
Yeah.
popped on the screen and he was like, "How did they get her in this movie?" And it
I,
just kept happening like that. And
I
they
mean,
had some really good moments.
it was, yeah. Oh man, like I will say, so the when Jim Carrey got announced as Eggman way back in the original Sonic, like I had some complaints because I knew Jim Carrey was going to just Jim Carrey it up,
Hmm.
which he does, which is not exactly Eggman per se, right?
Right.
I wanted something a little more faithful, but this far in, he's really hamming it up. I haven't seen it yet,
Hmm.
but just off the bits and the trailers and things, he is just Jim carrying it as hard as he can, and you know what? He's won me over.
Yeah.
Um, so
If
yeah,
it
no,
wasn't him, like he
yeah,
basically made this movie. And it's to the point where he's almost like Robin Williams did, where
yeah.
with certain Robin Williams movies, like if it was not him, it wouldn't be good. Like the original Aladdin, I would not have enjoyed it so much if it didn't have the genie, like
Nobody
his
would
genie.
per. It wouldn't be. It wouldn't be notable, right? Like it'd
No,
be maybe
yeah.
fine, I guess. I don't know. Who cares? Because yeah, the genie, right? Like Robin Williams
Mrs.
singing
Mrs.
"Friend Like Me."
Doubtfire, like no one else could have pulled that movie off.
No,
Like
yeah, you're
and
right.
that's how I feel about Jim Carrey in this movie. And I thought about it like I was talking to my partner on the way home, and he was like, "Man, it's been a while since I've watched many of Jim Carrey's movies." And we started talking about like all of his previous movies, like Liar Liar and The Mask and
It's just
Ace
so
Ventura.
good.
And I was like, we need to do a Jim Carrey marathon because I haven't seen a lot
Ooh.
of these in a long time, but
You,
he's pretty great.
you know what? One of the greatest tragedies of my life was that my mom, like one day, I don't remember just what the context was, but basically, like I was talking about Jim Carrey, and my mom happened to hear, and she was like, "Oh, he was just here in Atlanta like yesterday. He was at a book
No.
signing," and I was like, "What? I missed him. I could have met Jim Carrey. He did it. And, oh, so there you go. One of my greatest misses. Yeah, but
He'll come back around.
yeah, and oh, you know what? You know what? Al is a fan of Sonic 3 too, the movie.
Okay.
Who knows? Maybe.
We should do a greenhouse about it.
I was subtly hinting, like, and I had already talked about it. So, but we'll rope you in for that too, for
Sweet.
sure. Because yes,
Sweet.
yeah. So look forward some point in the near future. Well, there will be a Sonic 3. Um,
Greenhouse.
yep,
And to
Greenhouse.
listen to that, you have to be a Patreon subscriber. So go to patreon.com/GHSpod. It's been a ruse this whole time of leading up to that. And I just posted a photo, a real life photo of Stella while I am recording, looking at me like, oh my gosh, mom, it is time to go lay down. Please leave me alone. please shut up and stop recording. I'm sure Al is saying the same thing because we're almost at 2 hours. And so with that, I will say thank you, Kev, for joining me.
Thank you, Cody, for not joining me as well. I guess question mark. Thank you, Al, for having us on.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
listeners, for getting through this for the Cinnabunny Hypecast. Um,
Cinnabunny.
and until next time, if you're not sick of us yet,
Have a good
good harvest.
harvest.
The harvest season is created by Al McKinley, with support from our patrons, including our pro farmers, Kevin, Stuart, and Elisa. Our art is done by Micah the Brave, and our music is done by Nick Burgess. Feel free to visit our website, harvestseason.club, for show notes and links to things we discussed in this episode.
Did you get the Sonic the Hedgehog popcorn bucket?
No, I didn't know
Calvin
that they
did.
had one.
Oh yeah, I'll send you a picture. Calvin got it.
Okay.
All right, that's good.